First thing you always want to do is wash the engine down really good before you do this, so you don't get a lot of dirt and stuff inside your tranny. I'm going to be pulling my engine out completely for some upgrades anyway, so I'm not real worried about it because it's going to be all tore down. But I figured I hadn't done a video on this yet, so I figured I would do it real quick before I tore it all down and got it out of the frame. Because I like adjusting the clutch a whole lot better in the frame with the cable hooked up than I do on the bench, because it seems like I can never get it right on the bench, and I'll go over that here in just a second. Okay, for those of you that haven't done it before, if your Banshee's bone stock, you don't have any stainless bolts or nothing like that, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to get all these out. You're probably going to need an impact driver. You need a 12mm for this, 14mm for your pegs, and you'll need 1/4 inch, 7mm, or a flathead, or whatever size you have on your hose clamps. Other than that, you'll need a flathead to get this clip off of the brake, and then you're going to have a cotter pin back here to pull the pin out for the master. Other than that, that's it. First thing you want to do after you have it all washed and ready to go is drain the coolant. We're going to do that now. Just use an old pot or pan or whatever you have handy. I have an old pot that I had laying around, so I'm going to use that. I need to pull my radiator cap off so it'll drain. Okay, here it comes. Okay, that takes care of the coolant. We'll let that drain for a sec. After you drain your coolant, or if you have a big enough pan, I think I do, you can reach under and drain your transmission too, so you don't get oil all over your floor. You can choose to tilt it way over on one side so all the oil runs to one side of the engine. I've done that plenty of times, but I'm not gonna do that today since I'm not worried about losing any of the fluids. Like I said, it's coming out. While that's draining, we'll go ahead and start pulling everything off. So, first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and pull the pegs off. Or the peg rather. You're gonna need a 14 for that. Buzz it right off. Then you want to pull your C-clip, your E-clip for your brake. Nothing to it. Reach in one of the slots with a flathead, twist, and the clip will come right off. Behind the clip is the washer. Then you have your spring on there. Take a pair of needle nose, pop it off, like so. Then reach back here. You got a cotter pin. I've already straightened mine out. Just reach back, straighten it out, and pull your pin out. And then you can pull this pin out here. There's going to be a small washer on the back side. And then you can disengage your brake lever and slide it right off. Then you need to pull your kicker off. Your kicker gear. Your kicker is going to have a 12mm bolt on it, or if you've got stainless, it's going to be a 6mm. Push it down where you can get to the bolt. Buzz it out. It'll pull right off. Still draining a little bit of oil. We can go and start loosening up the clutch cover bolts. It's going to be a, what's it, 4mm? 5mm. Alright, those are all off. Now we can go ahead and pull the cover off, see how much of a mess we make here. What I usually do is I'll reach inside here where I can pull on it with my finger. Then I'll grab the water neck over here and just pull on that and get it off of there. Stuck. When it gets stuck like that, I usually get a dead blow or a rubber mallet and give it a few licks with a few licks and it'll knock it right loose. There we go. Don't use a real hammer, use a dead blow or a rubber mallet, trust me. Should come right off of there. Of course, if you have pets, be sure they don't get a hold of none of the coolant. Alright, so now it's time to adjust the pressure plate. If you've got a cherry pancake bearing like I've got, you're going to need a 1/2 inch for the outside nut, a 10mm or 3/8 for the inside. And I took and I ground down a 10mm wrench to make it a little narrower to fit back there better. But a regular wrench should work fine for you, just a little tougher. And you'll need a 4mm Allen for the center, like so. You can use just a basic Allen wrench, you don't need a T-handle. The reason I like to adjust my clutches in the frame with the cable attached is because I've done a lot of engines on the bench, and the climber will always tell you, or the Yamaha manual will always tell you to adjust the pressure plate until the arrows on top of the case and the clutch arm line up. Well, I've done that and it doesn't work. I've done it with brand new Motion Pro cables, ASV levers, stock levers, Motion Pro cables, stock cables, every combination in the world, and it never comes out right. So from now on, what I always do is build the engine on the bench. I'll put my clutch cover on with 2 screws to hold it tight and clean. Put the engine in, hook everything up, or hook the clutch up, pull the cover off, and go ahead and make my adjustment. So this is how we do it. You're going to take and hold back up back here. Take your 1/2 inch or your other wrench, whatever you got, and bust it loose. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to knock this way out of adjustment here so I can show y'all. Alright, now I've got it very, very loose, and my clutch is going to be completely loose. There's nothing there. Okay, what you're going to want to do, bear with me here, I'm trying to hold my camera and everything. Okay, on your clutch perch right here, your adjustment, go ahead and run your cable almost all the way in. Leave yourself just a little bit of adjustment. You're not going to need a whole lot. You want it just about all the way in, because over time your cable's not going to get any tighter. It's just going to stretch and get looser. And your clutch isn't going to get any tighter. It's just going to wear and get looser. So you're going to want to leave room for adjustment to tighten it. You're not really going to ever need to loosen it. So you're going to want to do that. Okay, so now you've got your clutch perch adjusted where you want it, where it's going to be. And what you're going to do is come over here, put your back up on it, and put your Allen wrench in and turn on it. And as you turn on it, your lever is going to tighten. You'll see the slack come out of it. When your Allen starts to get a little bit of bind on it, see it's free here, you're using 2 fingers. It's completely free here, there's no bind on it. When you feel the very, very slightest bind on it, stop there, go ahead and pull your Allen out and jam it tight. At that point, you're going to have a little bit of slack in your pancake bearing, just very little, and your clutch should be where you need it. Okay, then you can come over and check your clutch. It's good and tight, and you've got a little bit of slack. And if you do need to, you have a little bit of adjustment here to loosen it. But if you do it just like that, you're going to have it just where you need it. And that's really all there is to it. It's not real hard, it's not real difficult. It is if you've never done it before, I guess, and you don't have anybody walking you through it or whatever. So I'm not going to put it back together because I'm actually going to pull my engine. But to put it back together, you just do the reverse of the way we tore it down. There's nothing to it really. Y'all keep an eye on the channel. I'll post new videos as I do different jobs and more and more things. Y'all have a good one.